Good morning. Today is Wednesday the 26th of March. It's now 10:08 German time, and for my first full day here in Germany, spending the day here in Frankfurt. And this morning, well, I'm going to be doing a sightseeing cruise on the Main River. I always like to do, where there's a river, I always like to do a sightseeing cruise. It gives me a great way to get to know the city and that. Especially, of course, here I've never been before. Until now, I've never ever been to Germany. So this is it's my very first time over here. Also, I'm planning to go German train spotting at the main station, Hauptbahnhof. Now that'll be good. I've seen plenty of pictures and videos. It looks a good location for spotting. But so does the other one, Frankfurt South. I could do that on another day, of course. But I think I should be alright. If they're used to them over here, I think I shouldn't have any problems whatsoever spotting. And I won't be as nervous as, say, when I've been in Italy or Spain or France. In the meantime, just getting a few bits together, then I'm going to head out. Right, so out I go. Now, unfortunately, it was raining heavily during the night, and it's still spitting a bit as well, but thankfully that is all moving away, and it's going to be dry the rest of the day. I'm going to pop to Lidl, which is not far away, and yes, to go with a proper German Lidl. See what it's like. And then, of course, I'm going to go to Frankfurt South Station, get a couple of U-Bahn trains. So just popped into Lidl there, and they're a bit different than the UK, how things are set up, what you can buy off the shelves, especially off the to-go. You can actually get alcohol to go in that. Everything's different than the UK, and of course also you can't use a Lidl Plus app over here either. Nevertheless, I've got a bottle of water, like a bun, it looks like a pretzel bun, and a croissant. That's my breakfast for today. Of course, over here you're not going to get all day breakfast. Damned the U-Bahn, I think I'm getting the hang of this now. The nearest stop is Romerberg, where I got off last night. So I'm going to go to there, that's the nearest stop to the sightseeing cruise.
Oper und Schauspiel. Umsteigemöglichkeit zu den U-Bahn-Linien Morie und Stufen sowie zu den Straßenbahnlinien 12 und 14. Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung rechts. Getting off the same stop I did last night, at least thankfully the escalators are working this time.
And it's a very long escalator as well. Just down there is the Main River. And I'll go down there in a bit. So I've come now to Romerberg Square. So I finally get the chance to see Frankfurt in the daytime. And this here is the iconic town hall of Frankfurt. Nearby you've also got the museum of Frankfurt is somewhere around here. And these buildings look absolutely wonderful. It's almost like a real-life version of the Range store at Christmas time. A lot of traditions, what you see around the festive period, I think come from here, from Germany, and I'd say why. But look at these buildings. This is just absolute stunning. These, there's like massive model villages in that. Hey, these are just absolutely beautiful. Now where I go for my sightseeing cruise is obviously that way down to the mine. So I think so far I'm off to a fab start. But of course, like in Italy, there is one thing what is going to happen in Germany. There will be tourist scammers about. Yes, you may think, am I still going about them? But I am very scam aware. I'm hoping maybe this country is a bit more tougher than Italy and France. But nevertheless, I'm not going to let them bother us. Just going to crack on and enjoy what I've come here to see. So here on the square, we've got various gift shops, bars and pubs, bars and restaurants. But I think obviously dining out in somewhere like these will cost more than, for example, if I was dining on the south side of the river, which is where I'm staying. Oh, I'm going to absolutely enjoy it here in Deutschland this week. So, down here on the mine, this here is the Eisener Steg bridge. I'm probably not pronouncing these names correctly, but nevertheless, I shall do my best to speak a bit of German while I'm over here. And this is where I'll get the sightseeing cruise to take us along the mine. And, oh, what do we have here? Little train. Yes, there is actually a little track there, and that's very good. That and they're doing some construction works there. So yeah, there's that little tram track there, and it must go along the mine, and that's one of the tram vehicles running along it. Now, the sightseeing cruise is it's one of these boats. It's going to take about 50 minutes, and I'm actually going to have a quick walk on that bridge, and oh, this is just absolutely wonderful. Just all these buildings, absolutely historic. As I said, you know, in the UK we do have a lot of historic towns and cities like Durham and York and Shrewsbury and a lot of other like historic places in that. But over here, Germany is full of historic towns and cities. It's some stunning views here on the Main. And all this is the financial centre. This is one of the biggest financial centres in Germany, actually. This is like the Manhattan of Germany. This, all them tall buildings there. Hopefully, I should get a bit closer up to them while I'm here. And this is taking you west along the Main, and from what I've seen, it then this river also connects with the Rhine, and that is something worth coming to in Germany, to do a cruise up the Rhine. But I'm not going to be able to do that this week. But this is heading east along the Main. The sightseeing cruise will take us around this area. So looking at this bridge, this is another one of those where you put a padlock on, and typically it's like a love lock and that. I think I've seen some of these in the UK. You probably see a lot of these in Paris, for example. But here, this bridge, it's full of love locks and that. Now that's one very long boat, that. I don't think I've seen any that long, like going up and along the Tyne, for example, compared to the Main. But so this is the Iron Bridge that I'm next to, with all the love locks and that, and this is where I get the sightseeing cruise on the Main. So on the sightseeing cruise, it's run by Primus. It's going to be about 50 minutes on the Main.
On your right is the southern part of Frankfurt, called Sachsenhausen, famous for its picturesque old buildings and not least for its apple wine. The most famous landmark of Sachsenhausen is,
of course, Germany's known for its wine and all that.
This parish was one of the first to embrace the Protestant faith after the Reformation, and the first Protestant minister was employed here as early as 1531.
So cruising east down the Main. I think that's actually how it's pronounced, the Main rather than the Main.
Vor uns liegt die Alte Brücke. Erstmals urkundlich erwähnt im 13. Jahrhundert. Mehr als 600 Jahre lang war sie die einzige Brücke in Frankfurt. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe beschreibt in Dichtung und Wahrheit die Alte Brücke seiner Heimatstadt. Am liebsten spaziert sich auf der großen Rheinbrücke. Der schöne Blick flussauf und abwärts zog meine Blicke nach sich. Und wenn auf dem Brückenkreuz der goldene Hahn im Sonnenschein glänzte, so war es mir immer eine erfreuliche Empfindung. In Frankfurt geht die Kunst übrigens auch ins Wasser. Der Portikus etwa rechter Hand an der Alten Brücke, gebaut nach Entwürfen von Christoph Meckler und finanziert von der Stiftung Giersch, präsentiert junge, zeitgenössische Kunst. Ein Hingucker bei Nacht sind die wechselnden Lichteffekte, die man schon von weitem durch das große, steile Glasdach hindurch erkennen kann.
Ahead of us is the Alte Brücke, the Old Bridge, first mentioned in documents from the 13th century. For more than 600 years, this was the only bridge in Frankfurt, and the bridge toll ensured that Frankfurt's coffers were filled at all times. In his memoirs, Frankfurt's great poet Johann Wolfgang von Goethe writes about the Old Bridge. Best of all, I liked walking on this big bridge across the Main. The beautiful views up and downstream caught my eye, and when the golden rooster on top of the bridge's cross gleamed in the sunlight, it never failed to delight me. On the right-hand side, adjacent to the Old Bridge, you can see the portico, which was designed by the architect Christoph Metzler and financed by the Giersch Foundation. The portico is home to contemporary artifacts and a real eye-catcher, especially at night, when changing lighting effects illuminate its glass roof in the dark.
I'll have to try and come down to the Main at night time.
The brick tower on the right-hand side is the 5-star Main Plaza Hotel. The gold pinnacles of the hotel often gleam in the sunlight, and unbeatable views of Frankfurt's skyline can be seen from the upper floors of the towers.
Blickfahrt voraus können Sie schon die Türme der Europäischen Zentralbank sehen. Diese befinden sich auf dem alten Gelände der Frankfurter Großmarkthalle, deren Betrieb in 2007 eingestellt wurde. Die alte Großmarkthalle steht unter Denkmalschutz und verschmilzt in Teilen noch mit dem in sich verdrängten Hochhaus samt Groundslover zu einem Gesamtensemble. Das 201 Meter hohe Gebäude warf das wesentliche Büro in Blau. Am 18. März 2015 wurde das Gebäude der Exekutive offiziell eingeweiht. Da arbeiten über 2000 Mitarbeiter. Vielen davon von zur EZB befinden sich das Restaurant Prost. Im Gebäude, welches einen alten Verladen war, hier die Basis.
So here are the towers of the European Central Bank, which is located here in Frankfurt. And I know that this bridge up here carries trains round to Frankfurt South Station. I think I went across that last night. Looks like the Tyne Bridge, that. So just past the European Central Bank there. So this carries like the S-Bahn trains and the like freight as well. So as well as like being a tourist city, Frankfurt is also mainly like a business city as well. There'll be like a lot of like industrial like works around here.
Große Bedeutung auch der Schiffsverkehr von Osteuropa über den Donaukanal. Übrigens kann man im Osthafen wunderbar mit Schienenarchitektur, was kaum jemand weiß.
The Dodds is the entrance to the city's largest inland port, the East Harbour. This harbour was built 100 years ago at the cost of 50 million gold marks, the equivalent of about 2 million euros today. The harbour consists of 2 docks and a 3rd turning place. Here, in the Romerberg, the most frequent cargoes are sand, gravel, and recycling materials such as wood and timber. During the last years, strenuous efforts were made to restructure and modernize the East Harbour in order to make it compatible with the requirements of modern technology and logistics.
So we're turning round now. Pretty much this is the end of this bit here in the harbour. These are nice houses. Look very colourful indeed. They almost look like shipping containers when you look at like the style of them. This is like Frankfurt's rowing village. Also the starting point like for a lot of regattas throughout the year that happen here. I could of course exit here, the boat here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to head back along to the Iron Bridge. Plane taking off from Frankfurt Airport. We've turned round again and we're now going to head back to the Iron Bridge. And I'm enjoying this cruise so far. It's lovely. When you come to a city you've never been to before, it's usually the best thing to do, a sightseeing cruise on the boat or the bus, and therefore you get to know the place better. There's like another one of the local trains there. Heading west on the main. And that was a good sightseeing cruise, that. So that's a little introduction to Frankfurt for me. I've come back to Romerberg Square. This is actually all the old town of Frankfurt as well. I'm going to go and grab a bit of lunch, and then I'm actually then going to head to the Hauptbahnhof and do some German train spotting. I came here last night, everything was shut, so it's nice to see everything open now. And all these buildings look absolute stunning. I'm probably going to be back here a few more times while I'm over here. So this looks like one of the main shopping streets in Frankfurt. So as you can see, we've got various various high street brands and all that here. We're next to a shopping centre actually, just there. So it could be like the German Eldon Square, perhaps. There's also a department shop called Diaries over there as well. There's all the big tall buildings up there. So I'm just going to take a walk around for a bit. And yes, I can see that looks like a Primark up there as well. They've got them all over Europe. Although, of course, in the Republic of Ireland, they're known as pennies. Right, I'm going to go to the Hauptbahnhof. It's a funny name for this station. It's called Willy Brandt Platz. It's a bit of a name for it. Come into the Hauptbahnhof just before I start spotting, and I'm going to tuck into a proper Frankfurter sausage, like a little hot dog here. Just by looking at that, that does look absolute delicious. A lot different than, say, Frankfurters and that what you get in the UK. It's 2:05, so here I am, Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof, one of the busiest stations in Germany, one of the biggest. This will be the scene of my very first train spotting session here in Germany, which I've always wanted to do. And for a railway enthusiast, this has to be paradise. Now, of course, my knowledge of German trains is not very good, although, of course, I do know the likes of DB over there, the regional DB Regio and that. These have got some of the one of the regional trains in here. I've seen the night jet down there, and these, of course, are the big guns of Germany, the ICE trains. Two different. I think there's a few different classes of these. You've got like an ICE and an ICE Sprinter. Again, if you just want to correct us, put it in the comments below. Now this one is going to, I think, Zurich, which is in Switzerland, one of the most expensive countries in the world. And that's going to head down towards Freiburg, which is in the Black Forest region, and then to Basel, Switzerland, before reaching Zurich. ICE trains do look long. There's one of the another could be one of the S-Bahn trains. Those ICE trains do look very, very long. You can actually drive them on Train Sim World and Train Simulator Classic. So, of course, where can you go from here? All sorts of places throughout Germany. The likes of Cologne, Dusseldorf, Hamburg, Hanover, Berlin, Nuremberg, Munich, Freiburg. Of course, trains to Switzerland. You can also get trains into Belgium, and probably the Netherlands, and of course you can get the ICE to Paris from here as well. So yeah, you can go to a lot of places from here. Also go to Dortmund as well, home of Borussia Dortmund football team. I should be all right here in this country. If they love their enthusiasts, I don't think I should have a problem here. It's RE5 service, so that's a regional service. That one there's going to Dusseldorf, north of Cologne. It's another city I would go to, because then I would be able to go to nearby Dortmund, of course. And this other ICE train, that's going to Leipzig, which I think is in like the southeast of Germany. And that's the home of RB Leipzig, another Bundesliga team. So that's one of the diesel powered, that'll be a DMU, that train. So there's a lot that run electric, and of course you do get diesel multiple units over here as well. I am absolutely loving it, spotting here. There's literally trains in and out of this station, like every few seconds. I'm definitely going to enjoy it spotting while I'm over here. And of course I'll spot in Berlin, and also my other big trip is Cologne while I'm over here as well. So that over there is the night jet. That's run by the OBB, and that is the national rail operator of Austria. And I believe the night jet, that is what takes you to the Austrian capital Vienna from Frankfurt.
Platform 8, now arriving, RE50 from Fulda, arrival 2:40 p.m. Meine Damen und Herren, am Gleis 6, bitte steigen Sie ein. Vorsicht an den Türen und bei der Abfahrt des Zuges.
And that train's going to Dortmund. Takes about 2 and a bit hours. Excuse me. 2 and a bit hours to get up to that part of Germany. Hopefully I'll go there one year because I want to do the stadium tour of Borussia Dortmund. So I've now gone to the other side of Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof, and just looking at here you can get a good sense just how massive this station is. I think there's at least there's about 24 platforms here. That's obviously a lot. This is a lot wider than Edinburgh Waverley and King's Cross and that. Probably might just be a bit more wider than Waterloo Station, I think.
RB22 to Limburg via Frankfurt, departure 3:43 p.m. Caution, the train is arriving.
Information zu RB22 nach Limburg über Frankfurt Höchst. Abfahrt 15:43 Uhr, heute von Gleis 21. Ich wiederhole, RB22 nach Limburg über Frankfurt Höchst. Abfahrt 15:43 Uhr, heute von Gleis 21.
Departure 3:43 p.m. today from platform 21. I repeat, RB22 to Limburg via Frankfurt, departure 3:43 p.m. today from platform 21.
Them ICA trains, when they depart, they do make like a classical music tune. I think I'll finish it here. I've really enjoyed it. I've gotten all sorts in within an hour and a half, and I've had no bother at all. Nice one. Hopefully it'll be the same for Berlin and Cologne. Berlin tomorrow and Cologne next Monday. Meantime, I'm just gonna have a look outside the station, see what it's like, and then I think I'll probably jump on the S-Bahn and then go back to Frankfurt South, go back to my hotel for a bit. So that's the tram system that runs around Frankfurt. Unlike, for example, Nottingham or Sheffield, there's like a number of different routes, a lot of different lines around this city. Alright, let's give the tram a go. Number 17 to take us across the main. Coming over the main. So just getting off at that tram stop there, and I just have to walk this way, turn right, and then to the left to get to the hotel. That might actually be not too bad for us to get from my hotel to the Hauptbahnhof at least. Now where my hotel is more in a bit of a neighbourhood of Frankfurt, not in the city centre. It's on the south. I'm on the south side of the river. And to be honest, it is a bit more quiet. Right. Still looks alright as well. Well, I can see my hotel from here, so that's not a bad walk actually. Hotel springs in the air with all the birds twittering. But then, mind you, here in continental Europe, it's usually warmer in the springtime than what a British spring is like. Oh, and there's a German freight train just passing over the level crossing there. So I have to do a spotting session at Frankfurt Sud station. But I'm not planning on doing that today. Probably do that on Friday. Just come back into my hotel to recharge. Now, my hotel is right next door to an Aldi store. And over here, Aldi stores have got a bakery in them. Unlike the ones in the UK, they don't have a bakery. The Lidls in the UK have a bakery. I went in that this morning. But that is very, very handy for me, especially when I just want to get some cheap snacks and drinks and shove some stuff in the fridge. Now, to give you an idea of where I am, where I'm staying, I'll get the map up and we'll have a look. This is my hotel, the Blasky. So I'm on the south side of the main here in Frankfurt, which is sort of southwest area of Germany. To the northwest there you've got Cologne and Dusseldorf, Dortmund up there as well. There's Kassel. Hopefully I could maybe go up here one time. Hamburg and Hanover, they're north of Germany, and that's where I'm going tomorrow. The capital, Berlin, the very far east of Germany, just literally not far off Poland. And then of course if we go head south, you head to Freiburg, which is in the Black Forest region. There you got Stuttgart there, Nuremberg, and of course Munich, the home of Bayern Munich, of course. That's who Harry Kane plays for. You got Leipzig there, RB Leipzig is based there, and there's Dresden there. Out of all the countries in Europe, this is the one big country that I still haven't been to yet. Of course, there's other countries I haven't been to yet, like Luxembourg, a microstate, and there's obviously the Netherlands there. That's on my bucket list, and so is Denmark. And there's Switzerland down there, which actually is one of the most expensive countries in the world. It probably could be more expensive than the United States, from what I've heard. So you've got like Italy down there, so yeah. And there's Portugal, another country I haven't been to yet. So yeah, that's where I am with regards to Germany. That's where I am at the moment. Okay, it is 7 o'clock. Back out at all, so I'm out much earlier this time than what I was last night. So I'm going to go and get something to eat. I think I fancy going into a German restaurant tavern tonight. Fancy having a bit of sausage, a bit of bratwurst perhaps. Just walking underneath Frankfurt South Station. It was quite late last night when I got here, pushing them cases. Thankfully earlier this time, which was good for me. So for my first proper German meal of this holiday, now I've got bratwurst sausage with sauerkraut and mashed potato. That is German cuisine on a plate there. So I've just had a few bites of this, and honestly, this is absolute delicious. That bratwurst sausage, that's much better than having banners and mash in the UK. That sauerkraut's really nice as well. I think it's like cabbage that's in there. And that mashed potato, that's delicious as well. Of course, anything's better than British banners and mash. That was delicious. That's the first time I've had a proper bratwurst and also sauerkraut as well. This is Schweizerplatz. Platz is translated as place in English. Instead of getting the subway, I'm going to walk up to the main river. And this street here, this is Schweizerstraße. Apparently it's a street that's full of pubs and restaurants and that. It's one of the well-known ones in the city. So, and also they're bound to be maybe a bit cheaper as well. Meantime, so this is where I do one of my walks on a night. See the skyline of Frankfurt up there, the big buildings. It's nice and dry out here tonight. It's lovely indeed. standing on the Unter Main Brücke, it's an archway bridge on over the Main, and this is my first chance to see Frankfurt lit up at night down on the river, and it looks stunning. This, so all that south end known for its like picturesque houses and all that, and that's the south end is where I'm staying on this holiday. And here you have the big buildings, the financial centre of Frankfurt up here. That's heading west. Somewhere along there will be the Hauptbahnhof. And that way is heading east. I was down there on the iron bridge over there earlier on. So I'm going to keep walking this way. Probably going to head towards Romerberg Square again. At least thankfully, because I'm out earlier, I've now got more time to see this lovely city. This, of course, is one of the main financial hubs of Germany, and you'd think a lot of euros will be floating around in these buildings. The headquarters of Deutsche Bahn, DB, are here as well. So then there'll be a lot of decisions, a lot of shares, everything floating around this city, like you'd see in London and New York and all the other big financial hubs. Funny enough, this whole area is known as Willy Brandt Platz. That's a very strange name for a location. Nevertheless, though, it's fabulous. This is one of my walks I do when I'm on my hauls, just being out and about. So I'm going to walk back to Romerberg Square. It says at night time, and because it's earlier, it means more shops and businesses should be open. So I suppose, like, you're heading out of the new, you could probably class the other part behind us the new town, and then as you head to Romerberg Square, that would be like the old town area of Frankfurt. So I finally had myself a German beer pint in a proper German pub here on Romerberg Square, and €5.50 for a pint. That's actually not too bad from what I know, because typically pints elsewhere can be expensive, especially I think in France, where it'll be more expensive. But I thought that place was a tourist trap, but honestly, it's not too bad if I'm honest. Meantime, taking one more look at Romerberg Square while I'm here. A magnificent location this is, of all these historic buildings. Got the City Hall there. I wonder what Berlin is like when I go there tomorrow. I know some parts in there I'll be looking at. It's obviously a much bigger city than this. And to get back to Frankfurt South tonight, I'm just going to take the 2 U-Bahn trains from here. I've had a lovely day, but tomorrow's going to be my first long day while I'm over here.
So if you have some time tomorrow, you can go here, which is the Frankfurt Romerberg, then go a little bit in this direction, so they have completely refurbished a mix of modern
Last ride on the U-Bahn for tonight. I'm just going to catch one of the trams that goes along the road a bit quicker. So this tram stop, I think it's the nearest to my hotel. That's going to be even more handy for us. And I can see a plane, I believe, taking off from Frankfurt Airport, just up there. First bit of German freight caught on camera. And so it's the end of another my first full day here in Frankfurt, and it's been a good one. So what have I done? I've done the sightseeing cruise this morning. I've done my train spotting at Frankfurt, Hauptbahnhof, and honestly, I was absolutely impressed. I did an hour and a half photography session there. I even saw other rail enthusiasts as well. They do have a lot of them throughout Germany. When it comes to railways, the Germans have been king of the hill, whether it's the real life railways or even the model railways as well. I've seen plenty of model railways in my time, and there's been a lot of German built ones, and the detail and what goes into them is astonishing. So I've seen all sorts of trains from the ICE Sprinter. I did see the Inouï TGV that goes to France. I think it might go to Paris. I've seen the OBB, the trains that go to Austria. Well, the rail jet was doing a showcase event actually, and of course I've seen the regional DB trains. I've seen the S. Did I say the S-Bahn? But anyway, I've seen all sorts, and here they come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. The ICE trains make like a loud whining noise when they do depart from the station. So Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof I do recommend for a train spotting session. I am going to be doing the other station, Frankfurt South, because I've seen plenty of freight trains go through there, so that will be another good train spotting session. And I've been to I've had bratwurst with mashed potato and sauerkraut tonight. Sauerkraut, I've never had it before. It's like fermented cabbage. It's quite pickly actually, but it goes well with meat. I had it with bratwurst sausage and mashed potato. Much nicer than banners and mash. Okay, I do like banners and mash with a really good gravy. Then just been to the financial centre. And I've been to Romerberg again as usual. So tomorrow, the next part will be my first long distance journey in Germany, and you probably know I'm going to the German capital, Berlin. I'm going to be getting up dead early in the morning, probably 4:15, so that I can get to the station in good time to get a bit of breakfast before getting on the train. It's going to be a 4-hour journey there, and it's going to be a long journey coming back. But you have to take these opportunities while you can. It'll be my first ride on the ICE train as well. I shall see you in the next part. Good night. Good Nacht.